All right. Next, at number 5 is Justin Simmons. Here's where I'm going to play Homer. I think he fits really well in Dallas, especially if you can keep bringing Trevon Diggs to a starting caliber player. You've got Chidobe Awuzie. If you can bring him back, you bring in Justin Simmons. A lot of that defensive problems are fixed because they're not going to get burned as deep as they have been all year. If not Dallas, I think he stays with Denver.
I could see Dallas being a solid fit. They've been looking for a safety. You know, they had heavy interest in Jamal Adams when the Jets were trading him. And he is a very good safety. I think he's young. He's like 26, 27.
27.
Like that.
I think depending on what the Seahawks end up doing, I actually think that he ends up with them because I think Carroll is better at – I mean, he's creative on offense, but I think he's better on defense, and the Legion of Boom is what got him there. So if you can combo him with Adams, you've got a deadly mix, and I think Seattle's going to be hunting for him.
All right. Number 6, Tony, I think you're going to be very happy with what I'm about to say. Wide receiver Chris Godwin. There's no way the Buccaneers are gonna re-sign him. I mean, they've got so much that they're going to lose. Are they going to prioritize him over the defense that won them the Super Bowl? I don't think so. They've already got Mike Evans. I think Chris Godwin walks. I think he goes to the Giants. He's that number 1 receiver the Giants are going to need.
I think they tag him. I think they can tag him without too much damage. I think he's worth a lot of money, and he's continuing to break out. And they want to probably run this team as much as they can back one more year. I'm thinking he gets tagged. I don't see him moving. I'd love if he was a free agent because I think the Jets would try and scoop him up. But I don't see him hitting the market.
I think that the Jets have a potential to scoop him up. I'd love him to be a Giant. I don't know if the Giants are going to pull the trigger on that, thinking how much money they would have to give. I mean, franchise tag would make sense, just considering you're going to let a 1,000-yard a year wide or 1,000-yard 2 years removed wide receiver walk out the door. Doesn't make sense to me. Another landing spot for him, to me, depending on what San Francisco wants to do. I mean, that gives him a number 1 with experience that kind of grounds the entire group. I could see him landing in San Francisco.
All right. Goodwin and Godwin on the same team? Interesting. That'd be real confusing. We're going to skip.
Better for the defenses.
We're going to skip over number 7 because that's J.J. Watt. So we're going to go to number 8, Shaquille Barrett. It's tough. He's probably going to stay put, is my guess. I don't know, though. Shaq Barrett. I'm just gonna say he stays put.
He was on a very cheap 1-year deal with the Bucks. I think he stays with them. I don't know if they tag him. If you get what, 1 tag or 2 tags?
You get 1, I think.
1? Okay, then I think they tag Godwin and they re-sign him probably. And they can give him 15 a year and I think still not be in cap hell. And he might take a small discount to try and get a repeat or a shorter term contract while we're in a couple down cap years as the NFL recovers from COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. We're going to move on. Number 9, Aaron Jones. 2 places that I think make the most sense. 1, obviously staying in Green Bay. He's a monster. They like him. He likes them. The other spot that makes sense is Buffalo. They need a running back. He's a monster. him and Zach Moss can do a shitload of damage for those Bills. But I think he stays in Green Bay.
I disagree, unless, and I don't know how much the Packers even care what Aaron Rodgers has to say based on their drafting. But I know Aaron Rodgers is a fan of his. However, with the A.J. Dillon pick and how he's looked, I think they move on from Jones. I don't think they want to pay a running back when they could really pay some other needed positions, especially on defense. And I think maybe the Dolphins sign him. I think they are really looking for an elite running back talent. I think their line is very good and poised to get better if they get a nice silver in the draft. So that's probably the landing spot. I'm thinking he goes, but I really don't think that Green Bay keeps him.
All right.
I think that I actually have to agree. Man, fucking tastes like vinegar. I actually agree with you, Dan. I think that he's going to stay. I don't think Green Bay wants him to walk out the door, but I think his best landing position would be Buffalo. I think that Buffalo could do a lot of damage with having their running back shored up in that situation and shore up the entire offense to the point that they can focus on what little they really do need to focus on defense.
My only question with Buffalo, and I do agree that would be a great landing spot for both of them, is can they pay him? He's looking for at least probably 11, 12 a year based on the cap. I think he was looking for 15 prior to the down year, 15 per. So I don't know if Buffalo has that money. I thought they were kind of hurt for cap space.
Yeah, they're not in exactly a great financial situation. They're having trouble with Milano.
Right. Yeah. So that was just going off the idea that I don't think Milano's going back. But
okay.
We have one more.
Yeah, that would certainly work.
We got one more in our top 10, and that is Taylor Moton. And if the Carolina Panthers do not keep him, they are the worst run franchise in the NFL. He is the lone bright spot on offense, on an offense that has been particularly bad this year. Him and Robbie Anderson were the bright spots. If you let either of them go, you are stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're also talking about the lone bright spots on a team that the year before, 56% of their offense was generated by a guy that didn't play this year.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
In Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he didn't play at all this year. So, I mean, yeah, I think that they can re-sign him. I think that they can give him... to me, this situation relies in the quarterback. Like, what kind of quarterback are you going to have? Are you going to rock Teddy Bridgewater? Are we going with that? Or what's the situation? Because if McCaffrey, by all means, at this point, should become healthy because he's had so much goddamn time off, that if you have McCaffrey is deadly in any situation.
Yep. All right. Last thought on this, O'Shea, then we got to go.
I think they should certainly try and re-sign him. I think they're going to do their best. And if he doesn't want to play for them, I could see them tagging him. I think he'd fit great with the Jets. And the Jets could certainly give him a nice lucrative contract and really shore up their offensive line at the same time. And there's a few other teams with a lot of cap to play with that will certainly be giving him a call.
All right. And we're going to end there, and we'll pick this back up next week because we're already well over an hour. So I'm just going to cut us off there. We'll pick right back up next week with trade rumors and stuff like that. But
plus, we'll see what happens in this week.
Yeah, we certainly will, because March 9th is the last day to sign players before you have to tag them.
Yeah, and that's got to be factored heavily into current contract negotiations.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna end our show like we always do with our This Week in Sports History. I found our information on onthisday.com. Huge shock. So, March 1st, 1949, former world heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis retires with a 66-3-0 record, including 52 knockouts, and defended the title a record 25 times.
Amazing.
Crazy. I've been getting into boxing a lot more lately, so when I came across this, I was like, yes.
I wish it would come back. I really do. I wish boxing would come back with the Fury.
Yeah, with Tyson Fury. Oh.
Wow. Good name drop.
Anyways, guys, thank you all for listening. It's been a lot of fun. If you want to find us on Twitter, we are at Dan D'Antoni. On Facebook, we're Dan D'Antoni Sports. Send us an email. We're dandantonisports@gmail.com. So for Dan, Tony, have a good night.